Hey, welcome everybody. This is the January webinar. Happy New Year to everybody, and for those who have joined us previously and those joining us for the first time, welcome. This webinar generally lasts the full hour, but we'll see how it goes today. Just a quick introduction. My own name is Noel. I do all the technical training inside of Mozy and for our external partners. So I'm with Mozy now about 5 years. I came from doing technical support, so supporting all the products, and I'm now doing this technical training role for the last about 3 years in total. So just a quick overview of today. Normal procedure here, I'll do a quick PowerPoint presentation. We'll then go through a walkthrough demonstration, and then I'll open it up to questions and answers. Okay, so as I was saying, this is our normal session consists of a quick PowerPoint presentation. We'll then go through a walkthrough demonstration, and then we'll finish it off with a question and answer session on today's topic. I'll do my best to answer all questions that do come forward, but if it is something that needs to be taken offline, then I will take it offline, and I might ask you to email me the question directly and work it from there, and maybe get somebody from support involved. So the overview of today's session will cover we'll just cover the support web page, the log analyzer, and then MySupport for opening and closing support tickets or the like. Okay, so the first look here, okay, so this is our new support. Some people might be familiar with our support.mozy.com web page. It has changed in the last few months, so there was a change rolled out just prior to the holidays at the end of last year. So the new support website looks like this. Okay, so it is a task-based website, so it is more, I suppose, it's the intention of the layout, the new layout of the support page is that it's less clicks to your solution. So if you're trying to find something that you need to do, then the idea of it being task-based is that you can get to the areas and your information a lot faster. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice here is this drop-down menu from the support page. When you log in, when you come onto support.mozy.com the first time, this will be set to all products. So it will show you steps and tasks for all of our various product offerings. You then select your relevant offering. So if you're Mozy Pro, you select Mozy Pro, and from there then all the tasks underneath will only show the relevant knowledge-based articles and the relevant steps to your Mozy Pro account. So they're not going to show you home articles or anything like that. It's just going to show you Mozy Pro stuff. And then the next time you come on to support.mozy.com, it will remember that you're a Mozy Pro customer, and it will present you all those tasks with the Mozy Pro steps. Okay. The second then obviously is the actual support topics below. So as you can see here, we have things like getting started, doing backup, sync, managing my account. So the articles and the tasks themselves are split up into various sections. Okay, so you can see that if you were having a restore issue and you wanted to, assistance with doing a restore, then, clicking on the restore task there will bring up information on restores, and it will give you the various different articles that may be relevant to what you're trying to do. The same for billing or the setup or getting started. It will bring you to a separate window with the next steps that you need to carry out. And we'll look at that later on when we're going through the walkthrough. So the next thing we're going to look at here and on the next slide is the Analyze Log feature. So the Analyzing Your Log feature allows you to do some basic troubleshooting of your Mozy log file. So if you don't want to contact support straight away and you may want to have a quick look at the issue yourself so that you prefer to have a bit of knowledge yourself before contacting support so that you can discount some basic troubleshooting steps, then going in here to the Analyze Log feature allows you to speed up that process. So the Analyze Log feature, when you click on it, will open up a page that looks like this. So we'll obviously have the same wraparound that you see here, but where we see the support topic section from this screen, it will just have this log upload screen now instead. Okay, so it gives you the option to upload your Mozy log file that you find in your programs files. I'll show you in a moment when we're going through the walkthrough where you can find it. To upload the file then, you'll be given information. You'll be given the information for Windows and Mac and the location in the bottom of the screen here under the Windows and Mac. That will tell you exactly where you need to go to find the log file. And then above that you have the simple upload, and that just allows you to drag and drop the log file into this area that you see with the dashed lines, and it will upload the log file to Mozy's website, and it will analyze the log file for you and produce some information. If working, you can use the manual upload, which is just here, okay? And that just goes through a simple enough, straightforward upload that you would normally get if you're then, it's supposed to be similar to attaching a file to an email or something like that. Would be a similar kind of analogy, I suppose. Once you have uploaded the log file, it will return information like this. So it will return you a log report. It will give you basic information, as you can see here. Unfortunately, my client version is out of date. So it's telling me that I'm not running the latest version of the client, and I can update versions if I wish. It's giving me information on my operating system, and it's telling me when my last backup was. So as you can see, it's been a couple of days since I've run a backup off of this account. It then gives me my last few backups. It tells me the information on them. As you can see here, I have cancelled by user, a successful backup, and I have 2 errors. Below that last few backup section, I will get these errors. Here it will show me the error messages that I've received in those backups. So in this instance, I can see a connection error 8. So that's the first error I've received. It tells me when the occurrence was, it tells me when the last occurrence of this error message was, and it gives me a brief excerpt from the knowledge base article. And it allows me then from this more section here to open up the full knowledge base article and give me the steps that I need to do to rectify this error message. And these would generally be some of the similar enough, I suppose, first steps that you might get when you contact support. When they initially see your error message, they may give you some of these steps themselves. So as I mentioned a while ago, sometimes by doing this quick log analyzer, you can discount those first steps, I suppose, before you would contact the support agent. So that's the log analyzer, and again, I'll be showing you that in the walkthrough in a moment. So this is the new support interface for when you're opening up your ticket, so MySupport. So if you need to contact Mozy support by email, by chat, or you want to do it by phone, it's done in this MySupport interface. As you can see from here, okay, this is where I choose what type of support I want to interact with. Do I want to create a case where it opens a case in the support ticketing system and a support agent picks that case up and emails me back in a few hours? If it's something pressing and you want to troubleshoot it straight away, then maybe you want to go into this chat feature. Okay? From chat, it allows you to go into a live interaction with our agents and do a live chat with them. Okay? So that's obviously, if you have the time, then live chat might be the quickest way to resolve your issue for you. If you want to use the phone, it will, once you click that phone tab here, it will give you the relevant phone numbers that you need from your location to contact the Mozy support team. Okay, and that allows you to, obviously, again, like live chat, work your issue in real time. If you click on that, once you dial up Mozy and you ring them, if you're using phone support, you will be asked for your support ID. And you can find that on the top right hand of the page here. I have it highlighted at the moment. And this will give you support ID. And this is the support ID you need to enter when you phone Mozy support teams and you're asked for it by the automatic system. If you don't have a support ID, you won't be able to actually access phone support for Mozy. The other section here, and obviously it takes up the main part of your MySupport page, is obviously your cases. Okay, so if you have multiple cases opened, or you may have old cases opened, or maybe you're the administrator for your company, so you're monitoring all the end users' cases that you have submitted to Mozy, then you can see all of them listed here in the My Cases section. You can also then filter them by either last updated, so when was the case last updated, or the status of the case. Okay? Take a look at this in a few moments when we're going through the walkthrough for the MySupport page. So, as I said, we'll just go through a short slide deck here. It's probably better to show you exactly how this is working. Okay, so here is the support.mozy.com webpage. Okay, as I mentioned, it's set to all products the first time you hit it. Okay, if I go into get started, okay, getting started here, and I have it set to all products, notice how it gives me how to register for Mozy Home here. I get create a Mozy Home account, create a Mozy Pro account. Okay. Also, if you have been, obviously, I've had this web page open in the background. If you have had the support.mozy.com webpage open a while and you've been looking through and you can't exactly maybe find your post that you're looking for, you will be prompted with this little ninja guy here to ask the community. So that will allow you to post a question in the Mozy community and get an answer from peers and also from Mozy support staff who monitor the community. And that's obviously, if you're, obviously, you know, that's just an option. If it's a more pressing issue, then obviously you can still reach out to Mozy support using the regular options. So if I just go back here and I change this to Mozy Pro, and I now go into the Getting Started section, you can see now that I no longer get that home information. I'm now just getting Mozy Pro information. I'm getting an option to create a Mozy Pro account, purchase resources, advanced config options, and these give me the relevant knowledge-based articles and information that I would need to actually go through the setup and configuration process. If I come back out again, the main page here, I can come in here and I can look for questions on the restore options. If I don't want to go backwards, again, I have restore information here. If I don't want to go back out, I can just click from the tab on the left-hand side here. Okay, again, it will give me information on Mozy Sync here directly, but it also gives me some more information down here, be it popular articles or community discussions. So if we just go back out now to the Analyze Log feature, this is the log file feature that we see here. Okay, so we see the log upload screen. Okay, I have my steps to where to find the file. And if I want to, I can try the simple upload form. I'm going to show you now where you can find it on the Windows machine, obviously, because I'm on a Windows machine here. So I'm going to open up my folder here. And I'm going to go to C, Program Files, scroll down to Mozy Pro, and pop into my data folder. And here is my Mozy Pro log file. So if we just drag this over a small bit here, and I just drag it over here, drop it. Notice it's uploading my file now, telling me the percentage of the actual upload. And once it's finished, then it's going to give me my log report. Okay, so as I say, we can see here, this is the same image we were seeing from earlier on. Okay, so I can see that I need to update the version of the software I'm running. Okay, because I'm not running the latest version. It's giving me my machine name. It's giving me my product name, and it's also giving me my information about my operating system. And then as well, under here, I can see my last few backups. Error messages, I can see here and here. So what I see here is my connection error 8 and my account error 3 error messages. Okay, so as you can see here, the account error 3 is the most recent error message I've received. Okay, and that's this error message we're seeing here. Okay, so that's just this error message we're seeing here. I can click here on account error 3 and it will open the that will open up there, or I can click here and it will also open up the article for me. So that will pull up the relevant knowledge-based article on account error 3 for me. I can click either here or on more. Okay, and this will give me the knowledge-based article, and it will give me steps to attempt to resolve the issue. Account error 3 is a straightforward account error. I suppose it's obviously, as you can see there from the screen, it's just about you exceeding your storage limit. Okay, so in that scenario, you either need to purchase more storage, or you would have to reassess your backup needs. Okay, so and by that I mean maybe looking at your file selection. Are you doing it correctly? Are you maybe just blanketly selecting a load of data because you think you need it backed up, or are you backing things up that you actually need backed up? So in that scenario, generally what we would say to customers is that, you know, the best place to start with what data am I supposed to be backing up, which is a kind of a frequently asked question we would get, is, you know, the most important stuff to you. What if you're a pro customer, obviously, you know, what data do you need on your machine to be able to do your job? So if I was to take your computer off you right now, how would you, and I was to give you a brand new computer, what data would you need to download onto that new machine right now to be able to do your job for the rest of the day? That's probably the easiest way to identify what's the most important stuff to me to back up. After that, then it's probably, you know, the more, you know, things that you would use, maybe that they're not, you don't use them as frequently, but they are still as important. For a home customer, you know, the most important things can be things like family photos, family videos, things that are not easily replaceable if lost. So an account error 3 is asking that question. You know, you either need to upgrade your storage or you need to reassess your file selection. So that's the log analyzer, and that's the log report it will produce for you if you should upload your log file. And again, it's not meant to resolve your issues 100% of the time, but it does allow you to upload the log file yourself and have a quick look before you contact support or maybe open a support case, that, you know, if the first initial troubleshooting steps can assist you to resolve the issue, then it cuts down on the amount of time maybe that you have to spend to resolve your issue for you. Okay? So going back to the support.mozy.com web page, I'm now just going to look at going into MySupport. Okay, so that can be accessed from here, or if you scroll down, and this is the community here. If you want to ask the community here, you can search for current topics, recent activity, trending topics, or you can go to the Mozy community from here. Okay, if we have a quick look at go to the Mozy community, we can see here various forums. So for Windows, for Mac, for Linux, and so forth. You have tutorials, okay? And this is where all of our old webinars are stored. They're all stored within here in the community. So all the webinars from the last 2 years can be found within here, okay? So they can all be found in here, and if you're looking for them going forward. So MySupport then, you click there and you'll be asked for your login credentials. So you can also follow Mozy Support on Facebook, Twitter, and so forth. The Twitter account is monitored from 8 to 5 in Mountain Standard Time by our community manager, who is based in Salt Lake City. So I'm just going to log in here, and we're going to go into MySupport. Okay. Okie dokie. So here is the MySupport section. Okay. So as mentioned before, your support ID is listed up here, okay? And your contact support options are here. So you can create the case, you can chat, you can phone, okay? So if you want to create a case, you click on Create Case here, okay? You have an option here to select for the case reason. So let's say I'm going to open with questions about Mozy Backup. Subject, let's just put this in test case. You don't want to be wasting some support guys' time. So webinar test case, but here that is obviously could be your issue, maybe for a backup question. My backups are not running 80% of the time, or my backups have been failing with the following error message. So that could fall under questions or issues with the backup, but you could also put in, maybe your assistance with the account, or if you need specific stuff like with setup or configuration. If you type in here, let's say an error message, what will happen here on the right-hand side is that it will prompt you with some suggested articles. Okay, so if it is something specific that you're having, it will read the subject that you're putting in there, and it will compare it against some suggested articles here for you. Okay, so I'm just going to put back in here the webinar test case. And then I'm going to choose, and I can choose my attachment here. So what I can do here is I can actually go in and I can actually attach my Mozy log file. Okay, so previously with our old interface, you would have had to create the case and then go into the case and upload your log file. Now, from the start, you can actually attach the log files directly when you're creating the case. Okay, so I'm just going to obviously put in a description here. Please close case. This is just a test case. And then I submit it. My case gets submitted, and you will see it then appear here in my cases section. Okay, so now I have a webinar test case opened. I received my email about my case being opened and received by Mozy support teams. And I can now see from here my cases. So I can check by last updated, in the last 24 hours, 7 days, or 30 days. I can also check by status. So new, awaiting customer reply, closed or in progress. Obviously, if I click new, that's the only new case I have. If I click closed, that's the only case I have closed. Okay. If I want to open the case up, I can open the case up to view it. This old case. Okay. There was an old log file. So sorry, this case I just opened now. I can view the log file. Okay. So I can come back here again, and if I click on my new case, I can see any updates to my new case. I can view the log file. I can delete it if I wish. I can put in a new comment. So I put in a new comment and add it, and that gets added to the case, and the support agent who owns the case gets notified that there's been a comment added to the case. Okay. If I want you then, as you see there, just before I clicked out, you can also close the case from here. Okay. You can also close that, and you can move forward. And obviously, you know, if you're not happy to close the case, obviously you're leaving it open, and the support agent may close it. But at any point during the process, you're entitled to close the case yourself as well. If you want to do live chat support, you can do it from here. Okay, so you just start to chat, and that will open up a chat window with one of our support agents. Okay, so there is live 24-hour chat support available for our Mozy customers. So that's exactly where you would do it from if you want to start to chat. I'm not going to start to chat now because obviously I have no control over what agent it goes to, and I don't want to be taking them off the queue. So the phone then will obviously prompt you with the phone numbers that are relevant to your area. Okay, and then as well as that, you know, you will be prompted for your support ID. Okay, so your support ID will be listed up here, and you will need that, as I said earlier, when you dial in. You will be asked for that. If you want to look at any previously analyzed logs, or you want to look at the log analyzer from within MySupport, that can be done from here too. Okay, so again, we could just drag and drop that log file over if we wanted to, and it will do the same thing as it does from the support.mozy.com webpage when you go to analyze log file, as it will inside here. Okay, so we'll return the same log report to you and give you information off of the log file. Okay, so you can do that from there, and then it will show you in here any previously logged analyzed log files from when you were previously logged in. Okay, so that's the MySupport webpage. That's the end of my walkthrough and presentation. I will leave it open now to any questions about anything we covered here, or if there's anything that you want me to go back over, feel free, and I'll go back over it. And maybe if I haven't explained it well enough, I can go back through that as well for you. You can pop your questions into the questions tab that you probably see on the right-hand side of the window. So I will leave it open now for questions. Okay, great, Becky. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm glad it was of some interest. We'll be running our webinar again in next month, and we'll send out the invites to you all. I'll also send on the link to the host of where this will be hosted in our support website at the recording of today's session. Okay. Thanks again very much for joining us. Yeah, Becky, we do have other webinars for Mozy, and so we have varying topics every month. As I said, so if I just go back, I'm just going to go back here onto the screen, and I'll show you exactly where you can get the rest of that information. So if I go to tutorials under community. Okay, so under tutorials in the Mozy community, we have webinars. Okay, so here you can see all of our various webinars, and there was, so the admin console was covered. Let me pick out which one it was. I will check here for you now, if you give me just 2 seconds. Okay, so in February. So that webinar there was on the admin console. Becky, I'll send you the link there now. You should receive it. So all the webinars we do here are all hosted. I record them all, and we get them hosted up on the community, so they are available there. But you'll also find specific tutorials within the community there. So if we go back to tutorials, you'll find ones on the admin console as well. So here, so you have some additional video tutorials here as well. I hope that answers your question. No problem at all, Becky. You too, Becky. Have a great day. So thanks everybody for joining. If there are any more questions, feel free to just drop them in there now. But for anybody who had their fill of information for the day, thanks very much for joining us, and I look forward to speaking to you all again in February.